Cinematic narration, emotional, vivid, and heartfelt. The night was alive with city noise, the kind that hummed with laughter, engines, and secrets. Inside a dimly lit Manhattan bar, two women sat in a corner booth, identical in beauty, different in energy. They were the Montgomery twins, daughters of the billionaire developer, Charles Montgomery. One, Elena, was calm, analytical, always the voice of reason. The other, Sienna, was wild-hearted, her laughter sharp enough to draw every eye in the room. They weren't supposed to be there. The Montgomery family didn't drink in public bars. But tonight, they wanted to feel normal. Just two young women escaping a life where every smile was watched, every move analyzed. Across the bar, a man wiped down the counter. His build was strong, his eyes steady, his hands rough, the kind of hands that worked, not just waved deals through. His name was Jack Carter, 33 years old, a single dad of a 7-year-old girl named Lily. Jack wasn't supposed to be here either. He was just filling in for a friend who called in sick. The extra cash meant one more week of groceries, one more payment toward Lily's school fees. When the twins walked in, Jack noticed not because they were beautiful, but because they looked lonely, despite being surrounded by noise. As the night deepened, laughter turned louder, the air heavier with alcohol and ego. A group of men entered, rowdy, entitled, the kind who thought money and muscles made them untouchable. They recognized the twins immediately. "Montgomery girls," one sneered. "Didn't he think your daddy let you play with the common folk?" Sienna rolled her eyes. "We came to have a drink, not a conversation." But that only fueled them. The men leaned closer, invading space that wasn't theirs. Jack noticed. He always noticed. Years of being a father had trained him to read fear, the kind that hides behind polite smiles. He dried his hands, moved from behind the bar. His voice was calm. "Hey, fellas. Let's keep it respectful. Everyone's just here to relax." The tallest man turned, eyes narrowing. "Who the hell are you?" Jack didn't flinch. "Just someone asking you to back off." Sienna's heart pounded. She didn't know this man, but in that instant, his quiet confidence felt safer than any security guard her father could hire. The man laughed, stepping closer until his breath mixed with Jack's. "You think you can tell us what to do, bartender?" Jack's jaw tightened. "No. But I can say when it's enough." The word cut through the noise, steady, firm, final. The men didn't listen. The first shove came quick. Glass shattered. Chairs scraped. But Jack didn't swing first, he only moved when one of the men grabbed Sienna's wrist. Then everything changed. Jack's movements were sharp, efficient, not wild, but precise. He blocked, deflected, turned aggression into exhaustion. Within moments, the drunken bravado collapsed under the weight of discipline. The twins stood frozen, adrenaline rushing, eyes wide. When it ended, one of the thugs stumbled out the door, bleeding pride more than anything else. Silence fell. The bar stared. Jack exhaled, turned back to the women. "You okay?" Elena nodded. Sienna's voice trembled. "You didn't have to do that." He gave a faint smile. "Yeah. I did." The manager rushed over, worried about the scene. But before any argument started, the twins insisted he saved us. They offered him money, of course they did. But Jack refused. "I don't need your money. Just glad you're safe." Something in that simple sentence broke through Sienna's guarded world. People always wanted something from them: connections, contracts, favors. But not him. 2 days later, a black car pulled up in front of Jack's apartment building, a small, aging structure tucked between better days. Inside, Lily practiced reading aloud while Jack fixed her breakfast. She was bright, full of questions, the kind of light that made every tired morning worth it. A knock at the door. Jack opened it and there she was. Sienna Montgomery. No makeup this time, no designer coat, just a woman with eyes that carried gratitude. "I wanted to thank you properly," she said, holding a small box. Inside was a watch, not expensive looking, but custom made. On the back, engraved words, "For the moments that matter." Jack shook his head. "You didn't have to." She smiled softly. "You keep saying that, maybe that's why you're different." She looked past him, saw Lily waving shyly. "Hi." "Hi there," Sienna said, crouching. "You must be the brave reason your dad never gives up." Lily grinned. "Daddy says being kind is the same as being strong." Sienna's eyes glistened. "He's right." Over the next few weeks, Sienna visited often. Sometimes to drop off dinner, sometimes to sit on the old porch steps while Jack fixed something. Their worlds couldn't have been more different, hers built on marble and glass, his on worn-out floors and quiet sacrifices. But somewhere between laughter and silence, they found something real. He taught her how to be grounded. She reminded him how to dream again. And Lily, well, she adored her Miss Sienna, the lady who taught her piano songs and brought cupcakes that were too fancy to eat. Months passed. One rainy evening, Jack walked Lily home from school when a black SUV slowed beside them. Inside sat Charles Montgomery, the twins' father. He'd heard about Jack. He'd heard everything. His voice was deep, deliberate. "You protected my daughters. You could look the other way, but you didn't. That kind of integrity is rare." He handed Jack a business card. "Come work for me. Security director. Full benefits. I could use men who stand up when it matters." Jack hesitated, not out of pride, but disbelief. That night, when Lily asked if things were about to change, he smiled softly. "Yeah, sweetheart. Maybe for the better." 6 months later, the city skyline glittered like a promise kept. Jack stood on the rooftop terrace of the Montgomery building, no longer the bartender in a dim corner, but the man responsible for keeping an empire safe. Sienna walked up beside him, the wind brushing her hair. "You still think you didn't have to step in that night?" she teased. He smiled, eyes on the stars. "No, I think I had to. Because some moments define everything that comes after." She slipped her hand into his warm, certain. "Then I'm glad you said, that's enough." He looked at her, the city lights reflecting in her eyes. "Yeah. Sometimes saying enough means you finally get to have enough of what truly matters." Below them, the city kept moving, loud, endless, alive. But for Jack, for Sienna, and for a little girl who once believed kindness was the same as strength, the noise didn't matter anymore. Because tonight, the world felt peaceful. Glowing star ending message: sometimes the strongest thing you can do isn't to fight harder, it's to stand firm, protect what's right, and remind the world that decency still matters. And when you do, life has a way of giving you back more than you ever expected.